You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. Well, it's just about baby time for Sophia and Tate. In fact, it looks like Sophia is going to give birth to her little bundle of both joy and a little bit of stress by the end of this week or possibly early next week. It might be one of those cliffhanger moments that they then repeat on Monday. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and the baby mama drama starts soon with labor and delivery taking precedence over pomp and circumstance at Salem High School. Get ready to meet the baby with a couple of twists in store, and hey, click subscribe if you're not following us. So we've got confirmed Days of Our Lives spoilers that tell us that Tate's jaw drops when Sophia says she is going into labor as the teens are getting ready to get their diplomas at the Salem High School graduation ceremony. But we all know how things go in Salem. Just like with weddings and other important occasions, things rarely go off without a hitch. So let's dig into the bizarre goings on and where this twisted tale takes us. So right now, we know Sophia Choi is ready to pop out Tate Black's baby any minute, although her due date is technically not for another couple of weeks. So Sophia and Tate and Holly and Aaron are all together. They're in their caps and gowns, and that's when Sophia's labor begins at the school. So the high school janitor may have a cleanup on aisle 3 of her water breaks right there in the school hallway. So what is the fate of her and Tate's soon-to-be-born baby? There's a few critical questions that need asked and a few possibilities for twist. First of all, we have to ask, this is terrible, but we have to ask it, will Sophia's baby survive? She has been on modified bed rest for the past several weeks. Even though Tate wanted to take her to the prom, Sophia had to sacrifice that fun high school milestone for the health of her and Tate's baby. And we do know that Sophia goes into labor about 2 weeks early, and she had high blood pressure issues. That's what put her on bed rest. And that can be really dangerous for mother and baby if you've experienced it yourself, or if you know somebody who is. Preeclampsia is no joke. So there could be some sort of complication for Sophia or the baby, or both of them. We could see Days of Our Lives having some sort of intense, life-saving medical procedure that's required for Tate and Sophia's baby, or just the mom-to-be. So absolutely, we could see a dramatic twist with lives in the balance. Will they survive? Won't they survive? That kind of drama. Hopefully everything works out. Second, we could see a DNA swap that happens right after Sophia gives birth. Maybe there's a medical crisis with the newborn that requires some sort of emergency medical procedure. And for some reason, Tate Black is tested to confirm if he's a match for some sort of donation. Or because of the medical crisis, they do blood typing on the baby, and that's revealed, and the doctors quickly realize there's no way that could be Sophia and Tate's baby because of, science. Like people that have O positive blood, both parents that have O positive blood, generally the baby has O positive blood. And if they turn up with something that's just not genetically possible, then that's big. So we still have other high school grad-to-be Aaron Greene as a plausible and possible baby daddy to Sophia's child. There have been a few little hints dropped here and there, plus they specifically brought him back for graduation when they didn't have to, because Ariana Horton didn't walk at her graduation, right? So Aaron and Sophia recently had a strange conversation while she was sitting at the table in Salem Town Square having her milkshake. And that was hot on the heels of Aaron and Tate talking about using protection with Sophia. We saw Tate insisting he used protection and it failed. And Aaron had a look on his face. And if you remember, he and Sophia spent a whole afternoon alone together when she was upset. And it's not like Sophia gave Tate her V card. Sophia had other guys that she was intimate with before they got together. And when she was upset that Tate called her Holly's name in bed, Sophia might have let Aaron into her bed. So we do know Aaron's had a crush on Sophia since junior prom last year, 2024. And Aaron just told Sophia he hoped they would wind up getting together. So if there is a daddy swap, that would obviously shock Tate. However, it would also leave the door wide open for him to reconcile with Holly Jonas, who, of course, also has an eye on Doug 3 with no idea that he has been getting sexy with Ari. So it would also leave issues for Sophia and Aaron to deal with as well. And Amy Choi would lose her mind if she had to face that her daughter slept with 2 boys instead of just Tate, but honestly, it was more than 2. Amy wouldn't handle that well. All right, the next thing to talk about is whether this baby gets adopted. Sophia was hoping to arrange it, so she gave birth, and the baby immediately went to adoptive parents, so she didn't really ever have the chance to get attached. And in fact, she's worried Tate will meet the baby, get attached, and change his mind about them giving the kid up for adoption. She just told him that recently. And if you remember, when they were signing the adoption papers with Chanel, it really hit Tate, and he paused for a moment, and it seemed like he might not sign, but then he did sign, but then Johnny refused to sign. But now Melinda Trask is on the adoption case, so she might find prospective parents since Sophia and Tate both want to go to college and they know they're too young to be raising kids. And of course, another possibility is that Chanel Dupree steps in. We know she would still love to adopt Sophia and Tate's baby, so Chanel could try again to change Johnny's mind. Chanel and Johnny are back together after that brief estrangement, and of course, he shocked her and Sophia and Tate by turning down the adoption they'd all agreed on. But maybe with John Black passing away suddenly, Chanel could help Johnny see life's too short to waste time on what ifs and reassured him he'd make a wonderful dad. And if Sophia has a boy, Chanel could even suggest they adopt him and name him John, because Johnny is also John Black's namesake. And that would be an amazing Days of Our Lives tribute. So maybe Chanel and Johnny get the baby after all, but Chanel would have her work cut out for her to convince her husband that they should adopt Sophia and Tate's baby, because he definitely seems against it and doesn't think he deserves to be a dad. Of course, there's always still the chance, in a big twist, that Tate could himself reject the adoption and decide, you know what, Sophia, you go to college. I'm going to raise the baby as a single father if an adoptive couple isn't found. Obviously, the Black family would step up for him and support him. Brady already told him that. Teresa Donovan would be thrilled. So his grandpa, John Black, actually was a single dad for a while when Brady was an infant. So it's not unprecedented. So Tate may follow in John's footsteps that way. We'll wait to see what happens, but we will be getting some big drama as Sophia goes into labor by the end of this week and gives birth to her baby that may or may not be Tate's baby on Cliffhanger Friday, or possibly stretching over into Monday's episode.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.